I am Jo, I'm 27 years old. I've been on oestrogen for about 5 years and voice training for about 4. And today I'm going to be reading an extract from Voltairine de Cleyre's The Sorrows of the Body. I have never wanted anything more than the wild creatures have. A broad waft of clean air, a day to lie on the grass at times, with nothing to do but slip the blades through my fingers, and look as long as I pleased at the whole blue arch, and the screens of green and white between, leave for a month, to float and float along the salt crests and among the foam, or roll with my naked skin over a clean long stretch of sunshiny sand. Food that I liked, straight from the cool ground, and time to taste its sweetness, and time to rest after tasting. Sleep when it came, and stillness, that the sleep might leave me when it would, not sooner. Air, room, light, rest, nakedness when I would not be clothed, and when I would be clothed, garments that did not fetter. Freedom to touch my Mother Earth, to be with her in storm and shine, as the wild things are. This is what I wanted. This, and free contact with my fellows, not to love and lie and be ashamed, but to love and say I love and be glad of it. To feel the currents of 10,000 years of passion flooding me, body to body, as the wild things meet. I have asked no more.